Welcome back, everybody, to the Bay Bolts channel. We finally have some Lightning news to talk about, although it's not exactly the greatest Lightning news to talk about, but it is Lightning news as we continue this 2020 offseason. As always, my name is Jake Ricker alongside Michael Wax. Michael, Todd Richards, the Lightning assistant coach, is leaving Tampa Bay. He is headed to the Nashville Predators. It's a little bit of a sad day in Tampa, as Todd Richards was a great coach during his time here.
Yeah, he was a great coach. Was a part of a lot of really, really good Lightning teams. Invigorated a really stale power play during his time here. I think he's going to do the same thing in Nashville. I think he's going to have a really successful time in Nashville. And, you know, a lot of people saw this as a lateral move where he's just moving from assistant coaching position to assistant coaching position. But, you know, eventually he might find his way to a head coaching position again.
That's right. And he was a head coach of the Columbus Blue Jackets all the way from 2011 to 2016. But when he was fired in the 2015-2016 season after a 0-7 start, he came over to the Tampa Bay Lightning in the 2016-2017 season as the assistant coach and was with us for 4 years. You mentioned the power play, Michael. The power play wasn't perfect this year, but definitely better than it was before Richards came and had joined Cooper and his team.
Yeah, and I think what made the power play so infuriating now is we saw the magic that Todd Richards was able to work, whether it was 2016, 2017, 2017, 2018, even that season that we don't like to talk about. In the regular season, that power play was absolutely fantastic. This one, you know, it was a little bit inconsistent. The numbers were there. It was 22.7% during the playoffs, but we didn't score any power play goals against Columbus. The power play really struggled against the New York Islanders as well. It had its off days against Dallas Stars. The only time that the power play really looked like it was clicking on all cylinders was against the Bruins. That sort of inflated the numbers a little bit. And what's funny is that the Nashville Predators were really bad at the power play a season ago in the playoffs. They come into the bubble this year. They have one of the top power plays, and now he's going to join a stacked power play unit in Nashville. So, you know, I hope that the Lightning's power play, whoever is the replacement for the power play coach, I hope that that power play can find a little bit more consistency. Even if the number, you know, sinks to below 20%, we now know, you know, hey, they're going to score every one of 5 opportunities, but they're not going to go 0 for 10 and then go whatever it is for the next 10 to end up at 20%. So it's going to be tough, I think, for the Lightning to not have Todd Richards anymore. But, you know, best of luck to him.
All right, absolutely. And you wonder how good that power play just might get in Nashville. As you mentioned, already a good power play as it is. And with Todd Richards joining, could be even better. And credit to Richards, obviously, even though the power play may have been a little inconsistent, it got hot when it needed to against Boston, for example. And it did have its days against Dallas. Lightning power play was actually way more successful the Dallas Stars power play was. And at the end of the day, he was on the coaching staff that ultimately won the Lightning their second ever Stanley Cup in franchise history. So obviously he made a large impact, and we are forever grateful for that. So thank you to Todd Richards. Again, like you said, we wish him the best of luck. And as for replacements, I think it's a little too early to say who it could be. The Lightning will obviously take some time in looking for a replacement. They're not quite rushed just quite yet. But hopefully within the next couple of days, we might start seeing some names pop up of potential replacements. So, Michael, before we end this episode, anything to add on Todd Richards?
Nothing to add on Todd Richards per se. I hope he does really well in Nashville. Couldn't have happened to a better guy, and he leaves us as a Stanley Cup champion. As far as replacements go, like you said, it's a bit too early to tell. But one of the replacements that I think of is Jeff Halpern. He was the Lightning's assistant coach since 2018. He has been a really, really solid member of the staff, and I wouldn't be surprised to see if he gained some sort of promotion within the organizational coaching hierarchy. So it could be someone like Todd Richards, or excuse me, could be someone like Jeff Halpern. It could be someone like Ben Giroux down in Syracuse. He's been leading the Crunch for such a long time, and it could be someone like him that's, I'm not going to say that Cooper is going to get fired, but that guy has been down in Syracuse for a really, really long time, and I think it's time that he gets to the main roster and is able to get some sort of thing going, whether it's power play or the penalty kill.
Absolutely, and his name was floated around a couple years before too, so he's been considered before about moving up, whether to a different team or to, I think it was Philly that had his name floated around a couple of times, but yeah, you could see maybe just a couple of promotions within the organization, and then have maybe the Syracuse head coach come up and fill that third assistant coach role. For those of you that don't know, there's usually you have your head coach. Obviously, for us, it's John Cooper, and then you have about 3 assistant coaches, and they all do different things. You have your power play, penalty kill, or a development team, and then your goalie coach as well. So there's lots of different coaches actually, which is actually a little known fact for a lot of people. But either way, it'll be exciting to see how this all plays out. Again, we thank Todd Richards for his time in Tampa Bay, being a Stanley Cup champion. Couldn't have ended any better at all. Guys, that's going to do it for us in this video. Make sure you keep it right here, though, on the Bay Bolts channel. We've got a lot more off-season news, notes, and just some new off-season content coming your way very soon. There'll be another history episode coming out in the next couple of days as well. So if you enjoyed those, be sure to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, turn those notifications so you don't miss out. And leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys want to see in the near future. So that'll do it for this one. As always, my name is Jake Ricker with Michael Wax. And remember, the Tampa Bay Lightning are your 2020 Stanley Cup champions.